friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today is the day you've been waiting for, or at least the day that I've been waiting for. I moved into this house a year ago and very quickly decided that my third bedroom, which was an extra room, was going to become a library. So ever since I got enough bookshelves and really started to put things up, I have been wanting to show you my library, and today is that day. I finally took the time to walk around the room and show you how I've organized my books and the little things that I have hanging on the walls and sitting on my shelves, and I hope that you enjoy this video. I want to warn you that I did not go book by book. I just have a massive library, as you're about to see, and did not want to take the time to go book by book because that editing would be insane. So I hope you enjoy this little overview of my library room. All right, let me take you into my library. This is actually a third bedroom in my house, but I use it as a guest room when people come, and other than that, I don't really need it because my brother's in the second bedroom and I'm in the first one. So it has become my library. Let me turn and kind of give you a quick overview of the whole thing. So you walk in, keep looking to the right. I'll talk about all of these things, but this is just a quick little overview. Window to my porch, bright sun, big bookshelf, little bookshelves, and another big bookshelf, and then the door back out to my messy hallway. Let's start over here. This is my Christian fiction bookshelf. So at the top is where my printer lives and some paper and a filming light and clip. And there's just a lot of Christian fiction, some tissues. Someone from my old church in Massachusetts made these for me. My middle name is Joy, so I love that. A lot of these books came from the Fiction Guild and also library book sales, and also they've just been ones that I've had for a really long time. I'm not going to go through book by book, but I'll move these things so you can kind of see. I haven't been reading a lot of Christian fiction in a really long time. So these are cool if you haven't read these and you're interested. This is like a Jacob and Rebecca and Leah retelling set in Scotland. It's kind of fun. That's a story from the Bible. Sarah Elad is an author that I enjoy. Denise Hunter I'm getting into. Some there. Second shelf down here has one of my favorite verses from Joshua 1:9, be strong and courageous. And someday I'm going to take pictures of random things that make letters because I just think that's so cool. But here's the books on the second shelf. Ooh, I just read Charles Martin for the first time last year and really liked him. There's those ones. Down to the third shelf. Ted Dekker is clearly one of my most owned authors. I have tons. And anytime I see one that I don't yet own, I get it. He started out writing very differently than he ended up writing. Now his books are pretty thrillery, a bit fantasy, pretty creepy at times, and not always found on the Christian section of bookstores because they are more thriller than faith-based, I would say. But he does like to deal with good and evil. Then I have these cheesy Christian romances. Love Finds You series. This is a game that my mom brought me. It's pretty cool, but I haven't found anyone to play with yet. Basically, everybody brings a book or grabs a book off the bookshelf, and then there's these categories, and you have to find a phrase from the book that fits the category. It's pretty cool. Down on the bottom, here we have Francine Rivers. She's also one of my favorite authors. I love her books. And then we have a few more favorites, Deanne Gist and Dee Henderson. I haven't read those books in over a decade, but I did really enjoy them when I read them. Carrying on past the bookshelf, there's a bin of DVDs, which honestly I never really use anymore. This little bin here is yard sale or garage sale or Goodwill stuff that I'm getting rid of. A camera that I don't film on much anymore. And then up here on the wall, we have pictures of my family. There's my brothers and sisters and my beautiful mom right here in the middle. Clearly, I have some adopted siblings. One of them, this one right here, he lives in Turkey and he sent me this clock, which no longer works. In the move, somehow it stopped working. So I need to take a look at that and see if I can fix it. This is my sister Jalit and my niece Harley, her daughter, who passed away about 7 years ago, both of them. Tragic and incredibly sad. Here we have a little futon that folds down into another bed if I need to. It's not super comfortable. I'd like to get something different eventually, but it's not at all a priority because I don't really use it right now other than when I have guests. So there's that. Here we have some things that I've bought from other countries. You see a purple little, oh, it's hard to see because of the light. Let's see. There we go. A purple tapestry, like almost kind of quilted. See if we can zoom in on there. It's pretty, very beautiful. I bought that when I was in Thailand in 2006. This top one is from Haiti, and actually these are from Haiti. I went to Haiti 2 different times and bought these on different trips. I like to buy things from the places that I visit. This little tiny shelf here is just some random things. This little, oh, my glowy finger again. This little container is also from Haiti. I do try to buy a little box everywhere I go. Then just a fun little like coffee table type book and a jar that someone made for me. And then here's a necklace that I got on my 40th birthday. It just says Book Nerd. It went along with a gift of books, of course, that someone gave me. We've got my guitar over there, which I haven't played very much in a long time. A painting that I did at a paint night. Not that bad, if you ask me. That box is filled with thank you notes and just notes from people at my church in Massachusetts. I was the children's director, and got tons and tons of notes from people, which was really, really very sweet. This is my middle grade and children's book shelf. So at the top here we have those American diaries. What are they called? Dear America diaries of all different time periods in American history. It's very diverse. There's Native American perspectives and African American perspectives, and yeah, just really cool. I've been slowly gathering them whenever I see them. This giraffe and camel were gifts from friends who traveled to other places. A little bit of stuff there. This part of the shelf, not the Beverly Clearys, but all the rest are going to be my middle grade March TBR. Basically, they're all the books that I own that are middle grade that I haven't yet read. This little ice cream was made for me, or painted for me, I should say, by one of the girls at my church in Massachusetts. And then these, well, the ones on top, and then this whole stack, let's see if I can get in a little closer, are middle grades that I have already read. And then I have some Christian middle grade books there, and then some poetry, and then Dr. Seuss, all kind of smushed together on that shelf. And then at the bottom I just have my picture book collection, and then the values books that my parents read to me when I was quite little. Lots of fun there. Okay, moving around. I have a dining room chair that came from the kitchen, chair for my table, and this spot here is where I really would like to get a comfy chair. I'm not sure what kind. It's hard to find a chair that's going to be just right. So I'm on the hunt. Moving along. I need to go faster. And we have this tall bookshelf in the corner. Oh, right here on this wall, I have started, this is going to be like a travel adventure wall. I have a little thing here that says Adventure Awaits, and then I'm going to hang, when I find a frame, this map that's one of those scratch-off maps. It's one of my goals, I think, for 2019, to start recording where I go in my books, not in actuality, but in my books. Then up at the top, we have World War II historical fiction, and then some old books that were from my grandma's house, which I think are so cool. A little clock that I just found for $1 at a flea market for Instagram pictures. The top 2 levels on this bookshelf are YA. So I've been drastically decreasing my YA collection. There are very few that I read and keep, so a lot of these will actually get read and eventually go away. So there's all my YA. This little bear here is from my dad. He also passed away about 20 years ago, and he always called me Sunshine. So I have that little bear called Sunshine that I just keep. I'm keeping the tag on because that's why I keep the bear, because it's called Sunshine. I did just go through this earlier today and unhaul a few more. This little box here, I was a bridesmaid in my friend's wedding and she made these for us with a gift inside. So I have that still. On this shelf we start my nonfiction, just general nonfiction on the left, then just our little rainbow pile of nonfiction, and then starting my Christian nonfiction. So like Bible studies and just learning books. This next shelf is a mishmash. I think most of this side is classics, and then there's some of those folds, the pages books. I just don't have anywhere to put them if I fold them right now. And then again at the bottom is just a ton of Christian nonfiction. I've also weeded through that quite a few times and unhauled quite a few. Let's continue on. Here we have a little bit of fall decorating. Over these middle two shelves, I have this picture of a group of my friends from Massachusetts that had a little going away party for me, and they all signed such wonderful little notes. And then my church, high reflection. My church gave me this verse printed with Massachusetts and Virginia, just a little print that I hung up. I'd like to find something for that empty space on the wall, but I haven't yet. All right, at the top of here is my 2018 TBR shelf. So there's this little bit there and just those laying down nonfictions. Those are the only ones left. So, well, the only ones left in this room. I do have some in the other room that I'm prioritizing. And then down under my thankful sign, these 12 shelves are all kind of author collections. Let's just go through them. We have Kristen Hanna and Louise Penny on the top, and then under those I have Sarah Dessen, Marissa Meyer, and J.R.R. Tolkien. And then down at the bottom, this is a little mishmash of fantasy. So there's the Hunger Games, the Shades of Magic trilogy, the Mistborn trilogy. They're all kind of stuffed in there. Then I have Anne Rinaldi, who writes young adult or middle grade even historical fiction, and Anne Brashares, the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Continuing across the bottom, there is Susanna Kearsley, and then that corner shelf down there is all my Jane Austen retellings and books that are similar in some way and inspired by Jane Austen type books. And then up here there's Lucinda Riley and Daisy Goodwin, and then this one is obviously Leanne Moriarty, Philippa Gregory right there, and Jojo Moyes. And there we have that middle shelf. One more shelf to go. Up at the top of this one is books about books and an A to Z kind of paperweight. And this little jar with paper edged or paper flowers kind of bush, that was part of my 40th birthday decorations that I got to keep, which was very fun. Friends from my church surprised me, and one of the daughters made that, so that was pretty cool. On the shelf is all of my like general fiction, a mishmash of everything, somewhat alphabetized, but as you can tell, I have like stacks and stacks. So I ended up pulling out my hardcover and putting them separately. So there's a shelf of hardcover here, and then down at the bottom there's a shelf of hardcover because I just wanted it to be a little more uniform as far as height, but I still can't fit them all, even though I did just go through and do another big unhaul of these ones. So we've got some books on here. I'll put it, kind of run it through so you can see them. I'm not going to go through book by book, but there's the stack there. You can see these little birds there that I found at a yard sale. I thought they were cute. I have mixed in read and unread books. I don't have a separate place for unread because the majority of these are unread. So here's the stack here, but there are some mixed ones in there. Some favorites. All right, moving down to the next shelf of hardcovers. This was another gift for my 40th birthday that I haven't really figured out what to use. I use it as a guest book a little bit, had people write some notes, but I always forget, so that's not very effective. But here are these ones. Should I read Stephen King 11/22/63 during nonfiction November? I feel like that alone would take me the whole month. Yikes. And I have like 4 or 5 nonfiction I want to read. Jane Steele was a lot of fun. This is going to be my January Goodreads read-along pick, so if you haven't read that yet, I'd love for you to read that with me. Some more books on there. This is a box that I got from Thailand. Like I said, I like to get a box everywhere I go. So So it has some elephants on there. It's pretty cool. All right, moving down. Here is the next shelf. I wasn't really interested in reading Pachinko until I saw Min Jin Lee at the National Book Festival and listened to her speak, and now I'm really interested. And this Joy is a Christmas decoration actually, but I like it, so it stays up year round. Finally, the bottom shelf. These were at one point alphabetized, but I've added to it and moved them around so much that they are no longer alphabetized. So there you have it. That is my library. I hope that you enjoyed this little tour. I would love to hear from you what you think of it, if you have any ideas for what I can hang on the wall in some of those spaces that are empty. And yeah, I just love chatting with you down in the comments as always. So be sure to chat with me down there and give this video a big thumbs up if you like my room, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be talking to you in another video very soon. Bye.